Hi, sixth graders. Today we're starting chapter 11. So start a new section in your math notebook for chapter 11. And chapter 11 is going to be on circles. Okay, so today we're basically going to learn all of the vocabulary that goes with circles. So just like when we labeled the coordinate plane with lots of different colors, we're going to label the circle with lots of different colors. So hopefully you have some colored pencils handy. And on the first page of chapter 11, if you will draw yourself a pretty good sized circle, okay? Because we're gonna label it with lots of different things. So draw yourself a pretty good sized circle on the first page of chapter 11. Okay, so you're gonna pick your first color and you're gonna go to just approximate about where the middle would be. Put a dot, and that's the center, okay? The center. Okay, the center of a circle is actually very important. Typically there's going to be a letter right there, so right there we're going to put an A. And so the reason the center is important is because it names the circle. So for instance, this is circle A because its center is A. Okay, it's circle A because its center is A. Okay, pick a different color. Go back to the center, and we're going to go to any place we want to on the circle. So I'm just going to go this way. Okay, and while we're here, I say go to a place on the circle. Okay, this is on the circle. Okay, this is on the circle. This is in the circle. Okay, on it and then in it. Okay, so I went from the center to a place on the circle. And so that is going to be a radius, R-A-D-I-U-S. Okay, a radius. Okay, and while we're talking about radius, radius is one of those words that changes when you have plural. So if you have more than one, okay, that's going to be radii. So you can just put that out here, R-A-D-I-I. Okay, so that's just the plural. Okay, the plural of radius. Okay, that's just the plural. That did not come out well. Let's fix that. So radii is just the plural of radius. Okay, so that's just the plural. Okay, if you will switch colors. Okay, so I'm gonna go to a place on the circle. Okay, I'm gonna pass through the center and I'm gonna go to the other side on the circle. So I'm gonna go right here. So I'm gonna start on the circle. Okay, I'm gonna pass through the center and I'm gonna come out on the other side to a place on the circle. Okay, this is the diameter. Okay, the diameter. Okay, so if you look at a radius, you'll notice that you go from the middle out to a point on the circle. Okay, you go from the middle to a point out on the circle. Okay, well look what you do here. Right here, I can go from here out to a place on the circle. I can go from here out to a place on the circle, okay? So, what do you notice about the relationship between a radius and diameter? Okay, what do you notice about the relationship between a radius and a diameter? Okay, hopefully you notice that, well, this is technically a radius, and this is technically a radius as well. So a diameter is really made up of two radii, okay? A diameter is made up of two radii. All right, if you will pick a different color, and let's see, I'm gonna go with black. Okay, so I want you to go to a place on the circle, and I'm gonna cut through the circle, and I'm gonna land on the other side on the circle. Okay, so I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna go across, and I'm gonna land on the circle. Okay. All right. This is a chord, a C-H-O-R-D. Okay, a chord. So a chord starts on the circle, passes through the circle, and lands on the circle again. Okay. Well, let's look at the diameter. The diameter starts on the circle, passes through the circle, and lands on the circle. Okay, so what do you notice about diameter and chord? Okay, what do you notice about diameter and chord? Okay, well hopefully you thought, Well, they both start on the circle and cut through and land on the circle, and they do. So that means that the diameter, okay, is technically, it's a chord. It's a kind of chord. So it's just like an apple is a kind of fruit, okay? The diameter is a kind of chord, okay? The diameter is a chord, but it's also a diameter, okay? All right, if you will switch colors. All right, if you will pick a place on the circle, okay, and then just follow it a little bit. Okay, just follow it a little bit. That's just a curved part on the circle, and that is called an arc, an A-R-C. Okay, that is called an arc, an A-R-C. That's just a little curved part on the circle. Okay, a little curved part on the circle. Okay, let's pick another color. Let's see, maybe brown. Okay, I want you to pick a place on the circle. Okay, I'm going to come into the center, and I'm going to come back out to the circle, a place on the circle. Okay, so I was on the circle, I came into the center, and I came back out. And I'm going to shade that in. Okay, I'm going to shade that in. Okay, this is called a sector, S-E-C-T-O-R. Okay, a sector. So that's just like a piece of pie. So if I were gonna like cut, if this were a piece of construction paper and I were to cut into the center and like take out a triangle, that's a sector. Okay, so sector is a piece, like looks like a piece of a pie. That's a sector of a circle. Okay, let's pick a different color. Okay, you probably never knew there were so many parts of a circle. All right, I am going to start here at the diameter. I'm going to come all the way around. I'm going to follow it all the way around, okay, and come back across. Okay, so I'm going to start here. Okay, I'm going to follow the circle all the way around. Okay, until I get all the way here. And then I'm going to cut back across. Okay, so basically I just covered half the circle. Okay, I went here and over. Okay, that is a semicircle. S-E-M-I, and then circle. Okay, a semicircle. Okay, let's pick a different color. Let's see, what have I not used? I haven't used this purple color. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to come to the center. Okay, I'm going to come straight down. Okay, so I'm going to come to the center. I'm going to come straight down. I'm going to follow the circle here and then back this way. Okay, so basically I've just taken a fourth of the circle. Okay, a fourth of the circle. Okay, this is called, just like it is in the coordinate plane, this is called a quadrant. Okay, and they don't have numbers like they do in the coordinate plane. It's just that is what it's called. When you have a fourth of a circle, it's called a quadrant. So a half a circle is a semicircle, and a fourth of a circle is called a quadrant. Okay, so quadrant. All right, let's pick a different color. Okay, I want you to go on the circle, and we're gonna go into the center, just like we did the sector, and come back out again. Okay, so I went in and came back out. All right, this time we're gonna put a little thing right here because that symbolizes angle. Okay, that little thing right there. And that is a central angle. Okay, a central angle, which means that its center is on the middle of the angle. Or the center is on the middle of the circle. So the center is on the central point of the angle, okay? So it's a central angle. All right, let's see. Let's also add this. Let's add that this is just for the next couple of days, just so that you've got this ahead of time. Okay, we know that the symbol for pi looks like this. Okay, the symbol for pi looks like this in math. Okay, and we know that pi is approximately 3.14. It's not exactly, but it's approximately. So I'm going to show you a new symbol. Okay, so when you have two squiggly lines, okay, that means approximately. Okay, so pi is approximately 3.14 or 22/7. Okay, pi is approximately 3.14 or 22/7. And so in the next couple of days, we're going to talk about why sometimes you're going to use 3.14 in a problem for pi, and sometimes you're going to use 22/7 in a problem for pi, okay? Because pi goes with circles, and so that's why we're going to go ahead and put it on this sheet, okay? And then let's add one more vocabulary word. Let's add the word circumference, okay? Circumference. So if you'll add the word circumference. Okay. All right. So see if my board will cooperate. Yes. Okay. Circumference. Okay, and it's spelled just like it sounds. Okay. Circumference is distance around a circle. Okay. So if you want to know the distance around a circle, okay, the distance around it, that's circumference. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that here. We're actually going to talk about that in a couple of days, but let's just go ahead and add that to this one big sheet that's got all of our words on it. And let's go ahead and just put, I mean, this is obvious, but let's just put circle up here at the top. So we have a circle, okay, and then these are all of the different things that go with circles. Okay, I know it's a lot, but we're going to use these and talk about these in the next couple of lessons, okay? So all the things that go with circles. Okay, so let's do a couple of problems. Okay, so I am going to draw a circle, okay, and I'm going to label it with some things. Okay, I'm going to label it with some things. So I'm going to put a dot in the center. Okay, and so let me label these really quickly, and then we're going to answer some questions about them. So this is going to be an O. Okay, we're going to pass through here. We're going to have a P here and a Q here. Then we're going to start here and come here. So we're going to have an S and an R. And then we're going to have right here, we're going to have a U and a T. Okay? And so let's answer some questions about this circle. Okay, first of all, what is this circle's name? Okay, what is the name of this circle? Okay, hopefully you remembered when I talked at the very beginning that the center names the circle. So since this has an O, this would be circle O. Okay, circle O. Okay, give me a diameter of the circle. Okay, give me a diameter. Okay, a diameter. And there is more than one, but give me a diameter. Okay, hopefully you remembered that the diameter goes from one side to the other, passing through the center. And so PQ, okay, PQ would be a diameter, and it's just, you don't have to say the middle letter, it's just PQ. And so how you would write that is this, you'd write PQ, and you'd put this little line on top of it, because that just means line segment PQ. Okay, you could have also said SR, okay, SR. So SR would also be a diameter. Okay, SR would also be a diameter. So SR and PQ would both be diameters of this circle. Okay, where do you see a chord? Okay, a chord on this circle, a chord. Okay, hopefully you remember that a chord goes from one side to the other, and it doesn't necessarily have to pass through the center. So UT, or you could say TU, either one, that would be a chord. Okay, you could have also answered PQ or SR for that as well, because remember, the diameter is a kind of chord. So on this circle, we actually have 3 chords, here, here, and here, but we only have 2 diameters, here and here, okay? All right, now I want you to see if you can tell me a radius. Okay, give me a radius, and there are several radii. So see if you can tell me a radius that you see on this circle. Okay, hopefully you remember that a radius starts in the center and goes out. So the easiest way when you're asked to find radii is you start from the center and go out. That's the easiest way because you're going to see how many times it does. So on this one, you could have answered OQ. You could have answered OR. You could have answered OP. And you could have answered OS. Okay, all of those would have been radii. So I might have said, give me all the radii, or I might have said, give me a radius. And so any of those things could have been the answer. Okay, and then let's look to see if we can find some central angles, And we not really talked about angles this year, so let me remind you of how to name an angle. Okay, so for instance, one of the central angles on this circle would be this, SOQ. Okay, so the center letter is always that middle, is the middle letter. So SOQ would be one of the angles, and how you would write that is this. You would just put a little angle in front of it. So angle SOQ. Okay, that would be one of the central angles. Okay, see if you can tell me another central angle. What would be another central angle that is on this circle? Okay, well, let me tell you the other options and see, and let's see how you did. So QOR could be one. QOR might be a central angle. And notice that O is the center every time because it's the center here. ROP would be a central angle. Okay, central angle ROP. SOP could be another central angle. And see if you remember, again, we haven't talked about angles this year, but you've talked about them before. There are different kinds of angles. And if you look right here, okay, hopefully you remember that that is actually a type of angle as well. That is a straight angle. So that is angle POR or angle QOP. You can say it either way, just as long as the O is in the middle. So angle POQ, okay, is also an angle. It's P to Q is a diameter, but POQ is a straight angle. Okay? All right, let's do one more of these. So I'm going to draw a circle, and we are going to, I'm going to label it, and then we'll answer some questions about it. Okay, so O is going to be in the middle. We're going to have a C here and a D here. Okay, we're going to have an E here, and we're going to connect it over to the D. And then we're going to have a B coming straight down. Okay. So first of all, what is the circle's name? Okay, what is this circle's name? Okay, hopefully you said circle O. Circle O, because the center is an O. Okay, give me a diameter. Okay, a diameter, and there would be more than one answer for this. Okay, a diameter for the circle. Okay, your two choices would be AB. Remember, it'd be AB with a little line on top, or you could have said CD, and again, it'd be CD with a little line on top. Okay, give me a radius. Give me a radius. And again, there are several radii, but give me a radius. Okay, hopefully remember I told you the easiest way to find all of the radii are to start in the middle and go out. And so you could have said OD, OA, OC, or OB, okay, for any radii that you see on the circle. Okay, give me a chord that is only a chord. Okay, a chord that is only a chord. Okay, that answer would be ED. Okay, ED. If I had said just give me a chord, remember you could have told me either of the diameters as well. But since I said a chord that's only a chord, that would be E to D. Okay, give me a central angle. Okay, give me a central angle. Okay, so you would have a couple of options. Remember you put the little angle symbol in front of it, so you could have said AOD, you could have said DOB, you could have said COB, you could have said COA, you could have said COD. Okay, you have several choices for the central angles there. Okay, give me a point on the circle. Okay, what would be a point that would be on the circle? Okay, hopefully you said D, B, E, C, or A. Okay, those are all points on the circle. And then what would be a point in the circle? Well, obviously there's only one point left, so that would be right here in the middle, O. O is in the circle, okay? All right, well, I think that is everything we need to know about the parts of the circle and the vocabulary that goes with it. So I will see you next time.